I'm really supposed to be studying for my Japanese exam tomorrow morning, so let's keep this a little bit quick. Hello, DBTO2 is in full speed. Also got my little what is it called again? The Digimon Vital Breath. I picked up one of these little Digimon Fitbits and it's been kind of fun so far, so cool little pickup for the week. But today, we don't have much in terms of actual overdress cards. DB202 is out. There's like one promo we'll talk about, but they've been showing a lot of Monster Strike reveals, so we're gonna kind of go through those. I'm gonna go through a lot of the ones that stand out to me, but I think today has been very much Zero news day. There's been a lot of big Zero news. They announced a couple new skins. We're getting the new Miwa one for Legion Mate, as well as the Raul Serra one, which can use Link Joker Grand Blue and Neo Nectar. So that one's finally coming out, which is of course pretty nice, but of course I think for a lot of people it's also a skip. He's not a very memorable character. I wish we got Maki instead, but that's just me. Then we also got the new tournament promos, including the Radon Legion, which is also very nice. So you can see here all the old cards as well coming back to the tournament exchange as well. And then finally the next rank reward is going to be Photon, and it looks super sick. I really do like this one. I'm guessing that from the kind of pattern that they've established with Legion rank events or rank ladders, it's going to be Radon now and then the Garnet Star at the end of the month, second half of the month. Probably it's been the pattern so far, so I expect that to be the case as well. And the big Zero news this time, of course, was that we're getting the next Tower event, which of course will this time focus on Magnolia. So this one is going to focus on Magnolia and Megumi, and it's going to be the Tower event once again at the start of next month, and you'll be able to win packs for the current set as well. But let's take a look at the skills for those Zero cards as well. So starting with Magnolia here, she's an 11k power grade 3, and these are really easy to exchange for. You can even get some SPs too if you want. So she has Persona Ride, which of course is when you Persona Ride, your Vanguard gets plus 5k power and you draw an extra card. And at the end of the battle, it attacks, count plus 2, choose a high beast rear guard and gets power 3k and can attack from the back row. If you Persona Road this turn, choose 3 instead of 1, and this can be used with all Stoichia cards. So when we saw this, we were like, ooh, this isn't too good. Aqua Force and Mega Colony, they don't have that many high beasts, so it's better for Great Nature. But there's a lot of supporting cards. Let's take a look at them. First, we have the starter Lotte. At the start of your right phase, put a grade 1 from your hand into your deck to ride a Karis from your deck, and if you did, you cannot normal ride this turn. And in the Soul, when you ride Magnolia, you remove this card from the game and call the top card of your deck, just like it does in the TCG. And this card can be put into any Stoichia deck as usual. All of these have the same effect. Then Karis, at the start of your right phase, put a grade 2 from your hand into your deck to basically ride Lattice from your deck, and if you did, you can normal ride this turn. And in the back row, Karis does gain 3k power if your Vanguard is a Wild Dragon when he attacks from the back row. So Wild Dragon is of course Magnolia's trait, so that is also very nice. And then the surprise was that we go Lattice and the Gunosla. So that was a big surprise there. I think for a lot of people that we didn't expect to get, the triple rare support, but I guess, there was Trickstar and Verena for Nirvana, so I guess it makes sense that, this gets some kind of supporting cards too. So Lattice says at the start of your right phase, you put a grade 3 from your hand into your deck to ride Magnolia, and if you did, you can normal ride this turn. And then back or rear guard circle when it attacks, if your Vanguard is a Wild Dragon, Soul Blast 1 gets plus 5k power during that battle. So just like the TCG effect basically, but it's 9k power now. And then Gunosla literally has its TCG effect, but it is 9k power. When it attacks from the back row, if your Vanguard is a Wild Dragon, count plus 1, and during this turn, another of your back row rear guards specifically gets this unit's power. So it's very similar to the TCG effect, and these look really good. Genuinely, I think that this deck, it does eat up a lot of counter blast. Magnolia being CB2 now does hurt a little bit, but you do have quite a lot of counter charge in the Stoichia decks. When you think of Aqua Force, or you think of Great Nature also has access to counter charge. So I think it should be okay. I think you can run some very specific counter charge parts into your deck to actually make this work. So I'm looking forward to it. It seems like the kind of deck you can build without needing too much of the other clans engines, and you can already fill up 8 grade 2 slots, 4 grade 1 slots, 4 of them being PGs, so that's already 8 out of 13, and then 4 grade 3 slots. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think we could make this work. It might be pretty interesting to mess around with it. I still haven't messed around with Nirvana yet myself, but this is definitely quite exciting, so I'm looking forward to when it drops in Zero. Alright, so that's it for the Zero news. That was basically it. We're still missing a lot of cards for the upcoming set. We haven't seen any Kagura, we haven't seen any Link Joker. It's kind of weird, but I guess we'll see them during the last day tomorrow, I guess. But let's talk about some of the Monster Strike cards. Here's the PG. It's the same one as the ones in the booster sets, where you don't discard if you have 1 or less cards in hand. They revealed the grade 2 Gabrielle, who basically works a bit like a Genesis card. So when she's called or ridden, you look at the top card of your deck, put it on top of your deck or into your soul, so kind of like Revelation. And when she attacks on rear guard circle, if you Persona Road this turn, you may give her plus 5k power, and then if you do at the end of that battle, put her into the soul. So it feels very much like a Genesis card. I like the green border around it though, so that's quite nice. They reveal the 2 over triggers in the booster set, and you get one of these 2 per box, so that's also quite cool. First one of which is Lucifer, Bringer of Light. So same usual over trigger effect, but the additional effect is choose one of the following. Choose one of the 2 following rather. 1, you can either give all your rearguards plus 10k power, or choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. And it does not matter how much damage your opponent has, so it will heal no matter what with that second effect. So technically, if you check it, it heals on both offense and defense in a way. That's kind of how you can look at that. And it's nice. It feels like a slightly nerfed Stoicheia over trigger, but at the same time, that's not a bad thing. And I do like the ability to choose your over trigger effect. Personally, I think that's actually very nice. I think the effects aren't as strong as some people might expect. Like plus 10k power to all rearguards is nice, like to push for game, but I think you would want that extra heal no matter what, because like healing is often like putting you ahead as well, because that's 1 more damage you can take next turn, and if you don't manage to finish it this turn, then that heal will help you to survive too. So it's pretty interesting. I do like I really like her effect. Lucifer is like a unit that I really like. I was hoping I could build a deck around her, but unfortunately that's not the case. Then the second one we have is Arthur. So much like Artoria in Fate, you know, basically the same kind of style. So this one has the same thing where the additional effect is split between 2 that you choose one of. So first one is retire all of your opponent's rear guards, and the second one is choose one of your units and it gets critical +1 until end of turn. So you basically either get an extra crit, which is fine, I guess, like, you know, just like pushing an extra damage. If they no guarded, that's 2 damage, so I guess that's cool. But retiring all, like field wiping your opponent, Blade Master, is that you? Blade Master, you were Saber this whole time? Damn, I didn't know that. So the overtriggers are pretty interesting. They're not too explosive compared to the ones for the actual main 5 nations, but they seem pretty alright. So of course you can choose one of the 2 to use. I think it'll probably depend on the deck you want to build in terms of which ones you want to use. So we'll see how it gets adapted. Let's take a look at not all the cards they revealed for Monster Strike, but some of the kind of notable ones. Here's Miroku. I like this one because when you ride over it, you call it out to rearguard circle, and then on rearguard circle you can soul blast 1 when it boosts to give it 5k power. So 30k boosters we know are pretty important to make those 23, 28k columns. So I think this card will be played. Then we had a grade 2, which is Enma. So when she's rode upon, you countercharge 1, which sounds really nice. And when she attacks while boosted on rearguard circle, if your one has 3 or more open rearguard circles, you can almost want to give her 10k power. So both cards are like pretty nice, maybe in the right deck, and at the same time you also get to like make a huge powerhouse column out of them too. That's like basically like a 33k column if you have those 2 combined in one, you know, in one column. So not bad. Seems like these cards, like, they're not super crazy, that's why I'm skipping through a lot of them, but they're pretty nice. There's a grade 2, Danji, who says when she attacks a Vanguard while being boosted, you can counterblast 1 to choose an opponent's rearguard and retire it. So in the Laplace deck, this is even more retire, which seems pretty strong. Oh yeah, there was actually, I forgot, there was a promo for Brancade, sorry, not Dark States, for Brancade, which is the Kanon Shellkrieger. So rearguard circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a set order in your order zone, Soul Blast 2, choose and retire one of your opponent's rearguards. Doesn't seem that great. Doesn't seem that great. I don't really see myself playing this in either Prison or in Orphis, but maybe, I don't know, like in Orphis you have enough retire now, but maybe in the next ride line, I don't know. The art is really cool, so I do like it. Please more mechs. Mech ride line would be nice, would be very cool. Now here's another really strong looking like retire card, Nono. When she's boosted, if she's attacking a Vanguard specifically, so it's like 2 restrictions, I guess. Soul Blast 1, discard 1 to choose 2 of your opponent's front row rearguards and retire them. Seems pretty good. Like again, Facade kind of like laughs at all of this, like, you know, point and click retire, but it seems pretty nice. Like against other matchups, like this can hurt really bad. Against Verena, this hurts really bad because you basically can swing and pop the like Elgars before they have a chance to intercept them away. So that seems pretty strong to me. I think this card is actually quite good. I do like how in Monster Strike, like the cards, depending on their element, like that's going to be the color of their border. It does add a really nice like stylistic effect to it. And then there's a few more interesting cards. We saw one that actually has a Vanguard skill today. So this one is Nostradamus. So she's a triple rare, so this feels like maybe like one of the grade 3s you want to build your deck around. When she plays on Vanguard or rearguard circle, you Soul Blast 1 to give her plus 10k power, so that's already a 23k beater for that one turn. And at the end of battle that she attacked on Vanguard circle, if you Persona Road this turn, you can give one of your other units plus 10k and crit plus 1 until end of turn, which means that if you have like ways to restand stuff, which we haven't seen yet, but if you do, that could be pretty nasty. Like, that could be pretty nasty. 10k and a crit is really, really good, considering this has no cost. You just have to Persona Ride, and I think Persona Riding in this deck should be easier because of the monster box mechanic, where you can like trade cards in your hand with the cards in your monster box that you take from the top of your deck. So you can basically like secure those Persona Rides a bit easier, but you have to really choose which Great Wave you're going to build your deck around. Then we got Lorelei, who's like a Mega Colony card almost. So she's a great 2 with 8k power. That's an important restriction, 8k power. She says when she's boosted, you can count almost 1 and give her plus 5k until the end of the battle, so she's 13 anyway, and all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit cannot stand during the opponent's next stand phase. So this is the first time we get a Mega Colony style effect, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in Overdress, which is interesting. You know, it's Calmos 1 to Paralyze 2 in a way, but I don't know if it's worth it, but it's interesting. That's why I'm talking about them. And I guess, well, I literally just talked about we haven't had a restander yet, but there is a grade 1, which is the Kushinada. Again, I love the green borders around this guy. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted your Vanguard, and if that attack hit and you Persona Road this turn, Counterblast 3 to stand all your other rear guards. Like, this is a plethora of restrictions. Like, some of these cards have like pretty easy restrictions, and then cards like this have like all of them, right? Has to boost Vanguard, has to hit, and you have to Persona Ride. Like, those are 3 like different steps that other decks, like most cards have one of those, right? Either you have to have Persona ridden, or has to boost the Vanguard, or it has to boost an attack that hits. But this is like all of them combined, and then Counterblast 3 on top. It seems really expensive. It's only a common, so I don't think it's going to be played, but it's really expensive. But at least I guess a restand effect exists in this deck, and that's kind of it. So yeah, that was it. Short news video today, but it was mostly Zero stuff. We have, of course, in just 2 days on Thursday, we have the new Zero set dropping. I'm going to be opening quite a lot of packs because they actually showed off, I'll link in Twitter, the animations for Tomari and Danji fight skins, and they look so good. So I'm really excited to roll for the new set and get those fight skins and use Tomari with Link Joker, so it's going to be great. So make sure you come through to twitch.tv/DifferentFight to see the pack opening live. It will go up on YouTube later on during that day, but if you want to catch it live, it's, you know, you can be part of that experience while it's happening. And also, if you want to get any Overdress cards, you're pre-ordering your, you know, DBTO2 product, or still need festival collection stuff, go to parkangel.com, use discount code DifferentFight for 5% discount at checkout. It does help the channel, and I do appreciate it a lot. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.